So the LLVM security group was created some 3 years ago, as is on the slide, and I thought I'd share some experiences of being on that group. So first of all, what is the LLVM security group? So very clearly, the focus of that group is to enable responsible disclosure of security issues related to the LLVM project. So the focus really is on work that cannot immediately be done fully in the public, that's required to resolve some security issues. And so also clearly the focus is not on stuff that can be done publicly. Some of the history, some 3 years ago, well, November 2019, our RFC was posted. A few months later, July 2020, the group was formed. We didn't have too much process. Well, we were lacking process. It did take some time. Early 2021, enough processes were set up where we can consider the group to be functioning fully. And today we're roughly 3 years later. Who can be on that group? It's defined as individual contributors can be on the group, security researchers can be on the group, vendor contacts can be on the group. Vendor contacts, that's people building compilers on top of LLVM and shipping them. Currently, we have roughly 20 members, and it's mostly vendor contacts. All of the information of who's on the group is on the one page documenting the security group. If you follow the link later when the slides are published, you will find them. So how is our security issues being reported currently? We make use of the Chromium issue tracker. That was, which is something that's maybe not entirely ideal, making use of an issue tracker in a different project, but this issue tracker does have the ability to report something like privately, non-public, have all of the discussions that are needed to take actions, and then later on decide, okay, now this can be made public. We're planning to move over to something different, mainly because we've heard that the Chromium issue tracker will stop supporting our use case in the near future, and so we have to look for something different. So be looking out for an announcement around that. Let's have a look at what are the kinds of reports that the group has received over those 3 years. We've received 47 issues. About half of them, a little bit more than half of them, 27, the security group, after analysis, decided these we will not consider these as security issues. So in a breakdown here, well, there was just 4 empty reports, nothing in there. 3 issues were issues on Chromium, not on LLVM. 5 issues we thought they're not security issues, they're regular bugs. There were 12 issues reported about a memory vulnerability in a tool, for example, in Clang itself for the LLVM backend, not in the library. And according to, we deemed those memory vulnerabilities in tools that are not part of the binaries being produced by LLVM itself. Those are not security issues, should get fixed. It's a regular bug. 2 issues were about people saying, hey, I have LLVM produces a binary with memory vulnerability in it. The source code contained undefined behavior. We also thought, these are not security issues. It's like part of the normal model. And there was one discussion on improving supply chain security, which is a very important topic, but best done publicly, so not an issue that needs to be discussed in private. We had 2 issues that were deemed to be security issues, but not requiring coordinated action, non-public coordinated action. So one was an issue about a sanitize not reporting an issue, and another was about a Clang warning not being enabled by default. We thought these are issues related to security, but can be discussed public, don't need action non-publicly. So in total, we did have 18 issues reported that required some level of coordinated action. One was an incorrect code generation bug, where the end result was in the binary, this looks like could be exploited, the incorrect code that got generated. 3 issues were memory vulnerabilities in libc++. There were 7 supply chain related issues, and then there were 7 gaps in hardening features. I'm diving down a little bit further. Supply chain issues. One was about a Visual Studio Code plugin for Clang D, potentially trusting an untrusted workspace. One was about someone having a suspicion. Is someone trying to introduce a backdoor in the compiler here? We analyzed, looked closer. We thought, doesn't look like it. But it was good to see that someone at least reported, hey, I have a suspicion here, maybe we should look closer. And then there were 2 issues about someone accidentally leaking their authentication codes for GitHub or for the website, if I remember correctly, and 3 issues related to dependencies on Python libraries that were outdated, and so dependencies on libraries with known vulnerabilities. The hardening features I already talked about in the at the keynote earlier today. So 4 of them were gaps in existing mitigations, and 3 of them were about requests to implement new hardening features in the toolchain to help harden against newly discovered weaknesses in other software. So some takeaways is it looks like the LLVM security group is working and adding value, because I think we appropriately made sure that coordinated disclosure actions happened on the issues where it was necessary. If you want to see more details, there are yearly transparency reports if you follow the link. One thing I don't know is how many security issues were filed in public, while maybe they should have been filed in the security issue tracker. So if you have any ideas on how we could get a statistic on that, please let me know.
150.
So yes, I think the security group is operating well, but there's room for improvement. One area for improvement is that we could better define what is a security issue and what is not a security issue. So currently, what's on the slide is what the documentation says, what's a security issue. It's hard to define really well what are security issues, because LLVM gets used in so many different use cases that it's hard to come up with, like, this is the one threat model that works in all of these cases. So currently, we say, like, there's no security sensitive part, definitely for sure, but if you think it might be, please do report it, and we'll try to have a proper judgment call. I need to speed up a little bit. Improving hardening feature-related issues. That was what the keynote was all about this morning. Supply chain, there's probably quite a few things we can do there. I really liked seeing, I think mainly it's Tom Stallard's initiative to follow some of the OpenSSF recommendations on improving supply chain security. So I think as a project, there's a lot of stuff we can do there. I already said we have to move away from the Chromium tracker, so we could use a few volunteers with helping explore a few alternatives. So if you're interested in that, please do reach out. And maybe a last issue we should improve on is how do we communicate better to the wider world when we discover the security issue? There's something here, maybe you want to take an interest. We found out, well, we currently don't create any CVEs, so we're not set up for that. I also found out through other security groups and other projects that not everyone agrees that for example, an issue in a security hardening feature should have a CVE or not. So it's a little bit unclear exactly what the best way is to widely communicate known security issues. So I think the best way forward for now, I think, is if we had a way to publish, for example, on the LLVM.org website, these are the known security issues that have been discovered, and that's a way for people who are interested to subscribe to that. I'm running out of time. I think I just about managed to say everything I want to say. So thank you very much for listening. And if you have questions or remarks, you can catch me later. Thank you.